Field on the campus of Silver Lake Regional.
1-2, 1-2.
High school football action.
Hey, room.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From Barnstable High School, Dimension 36 presents high school football action as the Wildcats of Weymouth High get ready to tangle with the Red Raiders of Barnstable. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ducharme. I'll call your play-by-play as the Wildcats, coming off their 38-6 victory over Silver Lake, take on a Barnstable team that is 2-0 on the season, as the Red Raiders have defeated both Plymouth and Bishop Stang in the Bishop Stang game. They came from behind to defeat Bishop Stang 15-14. So a very interesting matchup, two teams that have never met before. And prior to the game, I had the opportunity to talk to Weymouth High head football coach Joe Kelly and asked him how tough is this Barnstable football team. About set to start as you look at Mike Swift on your screen to kick off for the Red Raiders, who won the toss and deferred to the second half. So the Wildcats will have the football first, as Manny Fernandez, Steve Gabriel, and Keith Tresario wait the kick of Mike Swift. A gorgeous evening for football, temperature in the high 60s and wind blowing from right to left as Swift drives one on the hop. It'll be Manny Fernandez. Manny runs in the traffic as he crosses the 25 and out to the 26-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will begin on offense, as John Rogers brought him down. And the Wildcat offense, as halfback Steve Gabriel with a great week, 4 touchdowns against Silver Lake, as J.J. Chella will run the attack. And you saw the offensive line, the veteran offensive line for the Wildcats. Straight ahead, as you see the pile move, but getting a short gain was Lou Henriksen, as Henriksen get it out to the 29-yard line. As Barnstable defense, nose tackle Anthony James, as Matt Pearson in that front line as well, but big guy John Mooreshead at defensive end at 6'5", 215, and 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats. As coming through the middle for about 5 yards is Steve Gabriel, leads the Wildcats in rushing, as Gabriel will be just 2 yards short of the first down. It'll be third and about 2.5 for the Wildcats, as they got to get just past the 37-yard line. Just on the way, as the Wildcats and the Red Raiders, first ever meeting. And they come out in the wishbone formation to the Wildcats, as blitz shown. And Straseri trying to stretch for that first down, and Keith is going to be short, as Keith gets it to the 37, and he had to get it to nearly the 38. As the Red Raiders will love to blitz. And you saw some of the people move up into the different spots on the defensive line, and very, very close. Well, let's see what the Wildcats decide to do on 4th down, and very short. And J.J. Chella comes trotting back. You'll see him in a moment, head to the huddle. As Chella and the Wildcats in the opening game of the season were successful on 4th downs 1 out of 3 times against Leominster. They did not have a situation last week. Chella, quarterback sneak. J.J. got the first down, as J.J. bounced off the left side and gets the first down So the Wildcats just going straight ahead to start. And they get the first down on 4th down. So nothing fancy so far for Coach Joe Kelly's football team, just straight ahead football. And they've wedged down 10 yards on the ground in 4 plays as we play just over 2 minutes. Chella bootleg. Little drop off, caught, and getting about 8 yards will be Keith Straseri. As Straseri on the little drop off got the first down, and Chella got a good block on the play when he rolled to the left. As Teddy Murch was able to hold off John Moorshead from crashing in on JJ. As the play gained 8, 2nd down and 2. And the first time the Wildcats have broken from the wishbone. Gladstone cuts back, and Darren will get the first down to the 49, and very close to the 50 goes Darren. And from a crossfield look, they'll measure. They'll say that Darren did not make it towards the 50. And we'll have another measurement. It's Darren Gladstone with 2 yards on the play. Wildcats going against a slight breeze. Not really much of one in the shape of things in what is really a wide open field. First down, Weymouth. So the Wildcats just come out, basic football, nothing fancy. And that's all they've just wanted to do so far, is just establish a little bit of power. As the one back is Darren Gladstone behind Lou Henriksen, who goes in motion. Gladstone heads that way. Darren brought down in the play by 43, Sean Tracy, as Tracy was there into the gap. And Gladstone does not gain anything. And the Wildcats with a 2nd and 10. And Coach Joe Kelly shuffling in the troops. It's Gladstone and Chuck Montorio check out. Gabriel Straseri back in on 2nd and 10 at midfield. And movement all over, and will be on Weymouth. As right side of the Wildcat line did jump. And we'll see if they'll say that is definitely on Weymouth. As the left side of the Barnstable defensive line did move, as did the right side of the Weymouth line, but the offense cannot move. The defense is able to move and jump back. 2nd and 15. And JJ Chella slips in to the bench. The football apparently that he didn't like, as the Wild teams will just use their own footballs. And the Wildcat quarterback wanted this football that he's going to use now. It's on the bootleg pass. Chella, drop off, and Moorshead should have had an interception and 6 points. John Moorshead was right in the spot, and he had 6. His Moorshead was right there, and he was right on top of the bootleg action and almost had 6 going the other way if he held on, and surprisingly he is a tight end on offense. 3rd and 14. And on their first possession, first big play for the Wildcats. Chella firing deep and overshoots Steve Gabriel, who was open on the play, but it was too far for Steve. And a marker down back upfield. And the flag is on the Wildcats for holding. As Chella had Gabriel open, but you'll probably see the Barnstable refuse it, and they do. It'll be 4th down, and the punting crew comes out for the Wildcats. Weymouth holds the ball for the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Gets a couple of first downs, but that's it. And Mark Stanton in 2 punts this year. Total of 69 yards in Barnstable. Looking like they're going to come after Stanton, who gets rid of it quickly and gets a generous bounce. It will roll dead at the Barnstable 23-yard line. And that's where the Red Raiders will start on offense. And you'll see the wishbone for this Red Raider football team, as they'll be quarterbacked by Josh Conroy, who is a 6'2" senior, 190 pounds. As the Barnstable offensive line. And the toss back for about 4 goes John Saquette. As Saquette sliced it off tackle and was rammed down on the play. As the Wildcat defense on your screen. The strength has been up the middle for this Wildcat defensive team. And on 2nd down and 6. Conroy the keeper, and a missed tackle, and Josh squeezes out to about the 30-yard line, where Lou Hendrickson brings him down as he gets it out to the 33-yard line, and a first down. As Conroy was caught in the backfield, but he was able to split away from the would-be tackler and get the first down. So both teams, first possession, get a first down, and Conroy pitch back, and trying to turn the corner is number 32, Jesse Caprio. Jamie Chase, as Chase gets 7 on first down, taking it out to the 44. It'll be 2nd down and about 2.5 for the first down. As Jamie Chase on the option pitch with a nice run. Chase again, good run, gets away from Gabriel, away from Hendrickson, and Chase in the Weymouth territory, where he was bumped out of bounds at the 46. And if Chase isn't bumped out, Jamie was off for 6 points. So Barnstable and Weymouth both off, moving the ball well with a couple of first downs apiece. The Red Raiders getting more sizable chunks of yardage on their runs so far. Weymouth straight ahead, and the pitch back. And getting away for just a moment was John Saquette before he is brought down by Darren Gladstone after about a 2-yard gain, as Darren came up and made the stop after Saquette was able to spin away from the original hit.
Ball is on the 44-yard line.
And it's tough to prepare for a wishbone in a short space of time. And fullback Eric Thompson. Matt Pearson, rather, the fullback, gaining 3, 3rd and about 6. As Pearson, the fullback, he was really a person that you rely on heavily in the wishbone to get that up the middle yardage, because it opens the outside option action very nicely.
Hey guys, it's Max. We just got in the brand new 2020 iMac 5K that we've been waiting for a long time. And before we open it, I almost forgot, I still have my mask on. This thing is super comfortable, way more comfortable than my other masks. No exaggeration. So if you guys want to stay safe and support MaxLink at the same time, go and check it out along with our other merch down below in the merch shelf. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. Now in this video, we're not only going to take a look at the thermal performance and fan noise and compare it to the previous model, but we're also going to compare the performance to a version that cost $850 more last year and missed some of the features. Now before we do that, let me show you how easy it is to upgrade the RAM. That's the first thing I want to do because I've saved $760 ordering 64 gigs of RAM myself instead of buying it from Apple. It only cost me $240 instead of $1,000. That is absolutely crazy. Don't let Apple rip you off. Now I'll just line up the RAM like that. Pop one in. The next one, the third one, and then the last one. There we go. That was how easy it is to upgrade. It took me just a minute. No, it doesn't void your warranty. You can save up to $2,100 for 128 gigabytes of RAM. We have links down below, and we have links to our 3-minute RAM install guide if you want more details. And as you guys can see, we have 64 gigs of RAM running at the correct speed. Everything is working properly. Now, the iMac that we have here is the 8-core model that is standard for the 2300 spec with the 5500 XT. And all in with the RAM, we're looking at about $2,500. And we're going to compare it to what would have cost us last year for a model with 8 cores and the better graphics at about $3,500, and then the previous base. So we do have the higher end 10 core coming in with the best graphics card, but Apple's only shipping those end of next week. So make sure you guys are subscribed if you want to see info on that one and how these two will compare. Let's jump into our tests. We're going to start off with Geekbench 5. I'm going to do the CPU test here, and we're using Intel Power Gadget to view the frequencies. That just hit 5.1 gigahertz right there.
Literally.
Did you guys see that? Now it's at 5.0. So this processor is 8-core. Right there, 5.1 again. I don't know why. It says it's supposed to go to 5.0. It's doing single-core tasks right now. It's supposed to go up to 5 gigahertz, just like...
Gained the yard out of the shoddy game, Donovan. And Joe Donovan just heads off the bench. I'm okay. Placed by Mike Harkins, but he'll just get a little breather. Option pitch. And being just tripped up is John Saquette. Saquette was just about to turn it and head up the sidelines as Henriksen just got him by the shoe tops after about a 5-yard gain, 3rd and 4.
Last year, if you spent the extra $400 to get an 8-core processor, now it is standard instead of being a 6-core. So it does hit the advertised frequency. Intel Power Gadget is showing actually 5.1 for some reason. That's weird. That's a positive. And now this 8-core that's included, the base clock is actually 3.8 gigahertz compared to the previous one's 3.6. So that is also interesting. Along with that, last year, if you paid $400 for the 8-core upgrade, the highest we saw that hit was 4.8 gigahertz, not 5.0, or in this case 5.1. And then as far as wattage, we just hit 129, now 117. This is the multi-core test starting. 129 watts, so it is actually peaking higher than last year. I think was it 117 last year? 115 was the highest it went last year, so it has access to a little bit more power if it needs it. And here's our results. The single core is a little bit faster than the best processor last year, which actually was the best single core performing Mac out of all of the Macs. And as far as the multi-core, we're just over 7% faster this year, and this 8-core is included compared to paying $400 more for the i9 8-core last year. So that's definitely a good improvement. We'll still have to see how good the 10-core does, and we'll test it out as soon as we get it. And as far as graphics goes, I ran the metal test in Geekbench 5, and we got a result of 42,000.
Cella option Gabriel. Trying to get the block. Steve goes outside and is dropped for a yard loss by Ryan O'Neal, who came from his linebacker position to make the tackle. As Steve looked for that one last block to get outside and turn the corner, and he did not get it. And Ryan O'Neal shed the block and made the tackle, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And one more play to go here in this opening quarter. Chella will just get a yard. It's Chella brought down by Tom Bourgeois. And the quarter will come to an end on that play. And the Wildcats will have a 3rd and 10. When we come back, no score after 1 quarter. The Wildcats and the Red Raiders here from Barnstable High School. 2nd quarter underway here at Barnstable High School. As no score in the game, and the Wildcats with a 3rd down and 10. As on the 2nd possession, they have not been able to move the football that well on their first 2 plays. And Chella looking as Morshed chases him. JJ firing upfield and almost connecting with Keith Strazzeri. But it was short hawk to Strazzeri, and the punting team will come on for the Wildcats as Mark Stanton makes his way on, and Coach Joe Kelly. And his Wildcats will have a 4th and 11 situation coming up. As Stanton on his first punt, hit it about 28 yards, and Mark facing pressure. Just getting it away, and he will not get a good roll at all as John Brown hustles down and falls on it. It rolls dead at the Weymouth 40. And Barnstable has some of the best field position that you ever want. And the Red Raiders moved the ball well, their first possession, but came up empty.
Quarterback Club would publicly like to thank Lambert's Rainbow Foods for the most generous donation of oranges.
So on 1st and 10 from the 39.
They've been donating the oranges over the last several years.
Fullback Eric Thompson, Matt Pearson gains about a yard, 2nd down.
1 yard gain, it'll be 2nd and 9.
And 9 to go as Matt Pearson with a straight ahead run.
Is conducting a 50-50 raffle.
Good field position as Stanton had to hurry the punt because the Barnstable Red Raiders were just coming after him and looking for the block. He paid off with a good field position as Henriksen overruns the play, but Joe Donovan does not, as Donovan grabs Conroy from behind and brings him down after a yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down and 9. But Joe Donovan just came in from his defensive end position and made the stop as Lou Henriksen had overrun Josh Conroy. He was playing the option pitch.
Tickets may be purchased down by the concession stand.
3rd and about 8. And 1 back with Chase is Conroy with a flip route that is caught for a 1st down to about the 21-yard line. And that being John McCartan, as McCartan, who could not hang on to the first possession, 4th down play. As McCartan gets 19 on the play and a 1st down. Take it in. It's McCartan wide open. And the toss back. Chase gains about 2. Alex Provost, Lou Henriksen are there to make the stop. As Alex and Lou, 2 linebackers who lead this team in tackles, were both there to make the play. And the Wildcat defense with their backs to the wall on 2nd down and 8 from the 17. And the broken play will not gain anything. As John Morshed gets up, along with his fullback Matt Pearson, who carried the ball, as Pearson Gain about a yard, and it'll be third down and about 7. And Josh Conroy on a 3rd and long last time came up with a pass to John McCartan. He's split out wide right. Conroy looks that way, fires that way, and overshoots McCartan. McCartan was open on the play, but Conroy way ahead with that pass. And Barnstable on 4th down. We'll see what they will do. Apparently, they will attempt a field goal. And to do that will be Jesse Caprio. As Jesse Caprio will go for what will be a 33-yard kick. And Caprio's kick is good. Jesse Caprio from 33 yards out nails the field goal, and it is Barnstable with 6:52 to go in the period with a 3-0 lead.
Which is about the same as the previous 580X, which came on this specification. They both have 8 gigabytes of video memory. This memory is a little bit faster. Now you have to keep in mind, this doesn't tell the whole story. We are going to have a review with a lot of real-world tests because there's certain things that have been greatly upgraded, such as the video encoders. They are 3 to 4 times faster in this new Navi graphics chip. H.265 decoding, there's a lot that is going on there because the 580X, that architecture is from 2016, so that's much older. Of course, if you want a lot more raw graphics performance, you can spend the extra on the 5700 XT, which we recommend for a lot of people. It's a lot more powerful. Now let's take a look at gaming performance. So I'm testing using Unigine Heaven, and I'm using the Extreme preset, and so far it looks to be running fairly well. And our temperatures for the graphics, it's at 66 degrees Celsius. Fairly cool, but we'll see what we get at the end of the test. So it looks like we have a score of 64.2 frames per second. Our graphics chip stayed at about 82, 83 degrees Celsius, and the fans stayed at their lowest speeds of basically 1200 RPM. We got 1198. That is about 40% faster than that 580X that was the base spec previously. So even though in the metal test it was very similar, like I said, there's a lot of architecture updates and 40% faster for gaming. And not only that, but it's just 4 frames per second shy than the Vega 48, which cost $450 to upgrade to. So right there, for gaming and for CPU, our CPU is faster. Gaming performance is almost as fast while saving $850. And now let's push this iMac to its limits with Cinebench R20. We're gonna max out all 8 of those cores. Take a look at our fan speeds, our temperatures, our frequencies, all of that stuff. Let's go ahead and hit run. I'm gonna watch how much wattage it ends up using here. So bam, we got a nice spike. 153. What? Oh, geez, okay. Well, that's going to cause it to heat up quickly, but it's still doing okay. 156. Okay. I guess Apple's being a lot less conservative. Last time, the highest it spiked was 120. And it's still staying at 159 there. Temps are going up. Frequencies at 4.7 this whole time. That's under 8 cores of load. So I don't know if they've just done a lot of optimizations or what. 98 degrees right here. The fans are spinning up, but Apple's pushing this thing hard. We're almost done here. I'm going to run this test again because I wanted this thing to heat up. 48-46 was our score the first time. Let's run that sucker again. So we're almost done with the second run here. It's running at 4.4 gigahertz. And the first run was 20% faster than last year's i9, so we went down 46.98, went down a little bit more. Let's keep pushing this thing. So it looks like it's running consistently at about 4.4 gigahertz instead of last year. It ran at about 3.7 to 3.8, so the frequency is staying much higher. And 46.70 we got on the third run. It is running a little bit hotter, a little bit louder because they're pushing it harder, but the performance difference is definitely noticeable. And this year, the 8-core standard, you don't have to pay an extra $400 for that one. And then, of course, comparing this to the previous 6-core, score. That's a massive difference in performance. So what did we learn in our thermal and benchmark video? Well, as far as the actual CPU performance, I'm really pleasantly surprised. Not only is this actual new 8-core, which is standard, about 20% faster, slightly higher than 20% than the i9 that you had to pay $400 for. Comparing the base spec, it used to come with a 6-core for the same price. That is almost twice as fast as far as the CPU performance. And as far as the graphics, we have much newer graphics. Finally, an update to the ones that they stuck with for a long time. And for a gaming performance, that had a 40% improvement. And along with that, the fans stayed totally silent when we're doing a gaming test. So overall, for the same money, you're getting a killer deal. And now, for most people, you can save probably about $1,000 compared to last year and get similar or even better performance. So that's definitely a win in our book. Now we are going to compare this $2,300 model to the one that's a 10-core with the 5700 XT, and then do our full review as well with real-world tests, along with video editing, photo editing, and things like that. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Once again, you guys can check out our merch down in the merch shelf below. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next video.
Had a 4th down situation in this game.
B&H is here, from our homes to yours, as your collaborators, creative partners, and problem solvers.
What type of photography do you do? It's actually a very good choice. I got a great mic that'll be perfect for that.
As always, we're here to help with all your plans, projects, inklings, and endeavors, with 47 years of creative expertise.
Oh, cool, you're setting up a live stream DJ set? Okay, I can help you with that.
So click, chat, or call us.
Sure, call back anytime.
Happy to walk you through it.
B&H, your creative partner since 1973.
I didn't say anything about not wearing a hat.
And it looked as though Steve made it a little bit farther. And they will measure for a 1st down and see if the Wildcats do maintain possession.
Summer is here. Hurry in for epic savings on award-winning SUVs and sedans at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Hurry in now and lease a 2020 Hyundai Sonata for $139 a month, or get 0% APR for 60 months. Learn more at buyhyundai.com.
Keep the drive going with 3:40 and counting in the 1st half. Straight ahead, Gabriel. Steve, the workhorse here in the 1st half. Inside the 22, the 19. They'll mark it at the 20 as Gabe gets 3 on the play. As Bourgeois on the tackle. 2nd and 7. Timeout, Barnstable. On the play, 3:15 to go in the 1st half. And the Wildcats on the 20 of Barnstable, down by a 3-0 score. 2nd and 7 from the 20. And the Wildcats trying to punch one in. And Gabriel, or check it was a straight ahead Lou Henriksen. As the Wildcat fullback muscles his way to the, they'll say the 17. As Lou, 3 in the play, 3rd and 2. And the Wildcats needing 2 yards to keep this drive going. Henriksen. Straight ahead, 1st down to about the 10 is Lou. Just bangs in there, getting the 1st down. And now the Wildcats will spend the timeout. 2:39 to go in the 1st half. As the Wildcats on the move. Down 3-0 here in this 1st half. Weymouth can get a 1st down to the 1-foot line. As they have a 1st and 10 just outside the 10, and the blitz showed by the Red Raiders, and it's going to be Gabriel slicing off his left guard, Teddy Murch, to the 6. As Will Glennon made the stop. And the Wildcats at about the 5 on 2nd and 5. Hurry up. It's also the fact, too, Barnstable not really set defensively. Henriksen straight ahead. Lou to about the 3. And Weymouth will take a timeout with 2:07 left. And they'll have a 3rd down situation with the Wildcats when we come back, and they'll need about 2 for a 1st down and 3 for the touchdown. Nothing fancy. The Wildcats have just basically come out and said, here we come, see if you can stop us. 3rd down at the 3, and John Brown beat the count. Not what the Wildcats wanted. You don't want to put yourself in 3rd and long when you're coming out of team basic. That's something that the Wildcats did not want to do. It'll push them back to about the 9-yard line. Not a good situation. It's 3rd down, 8 yards for 1st down, 9 for the touchdown with 2:05 left. And that changes a lot of the play calling here. Option, Shaziri looking for the block as Keith turns the corner. Keith run out of bounds, and they'll mark it at the 3, which will bring up 4th and 2 at the 3. And the Wildcats have just burrowed their way down the field, as the Wildcats will spend the timeout to talk about this 4th down play. Fourth down, and the Wildcats need to get it to the 1 for a 1st down. With 1:57 to go in the half. Gabriel slices. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Steve Gabriel! As Gabriel sliced off his right tackle and found his way to the end zone, and the Wildcats just kept coming and coming at Barnstable and get themselves on the scoreboard with 1:53 to go in the half. As Todd Kerosy will go for the point after kick out of the hold of J.J. Chilla. So after the Jesse Caprio field goal, the Wildcats come back with a touchdown drive. Kerosy nails it. 1:53 left. And the Wildcats on a 59-yard drive take the lead, 7-3. Control plus for the Wildcats, who go 59 yards on 14 plays to take a 7-3 lead with 1:53 to go in the 1st half, as Danny Daly to kick off. And Daly squibs it. Caprio wrestled down by Bud Taro at the 40 with 1:47 left. And the Red Raiders, good field position. They've had excellent field position throughout this 1st half.
Yep, I ordered 2.
They will come to the line very quickly. And the clock did stop. I'm surprised how quickly they've come out. It's breaking ahead for about 6 yards is Tony James.
So I got the 2020 iMac right beside me. It's the 27-inch model, and by God, is it stacked with the latest specs. i9 10th gen CPU. It's using a specific Apple SKU, the 10910K. This is a variation of the 10900K that we're used to seeing on desktop PCs. It has 32 gigabytes of RAM, a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, and the latest Radeon 5700 XT GPU. Now, in terms of design, it's the exact same thing. Not a lot has changed. You have the same ports, 2 Thunderbolt 3, 3 USB ports, you have an audio jack, and an SD card slot. The big update this year is that you can buy it with a 10 gigabit Ethernet jack. This is something that was reserved to the iMac Pro. This is great because I personally have a backup solution that I work directly off, and I connect it directly using 10 gigabit Ethernet. Now, the big deal this year is that you can now buy the nano texture display on an iMac. This was previously reserved for the XDR display only. This was done right. It's textured into the glass, and it significantly reduces all reflections hitting the display. This is exactly what I want. Yes, technically, if you have a regular glass glossy display beside it, it might look a little bit brighter, but this is the best implementation I've seen so far. Screen brightness, color accuracy, and color gamut are still exceptional on this display. It may be the same old 5K display that Apple's been using for a while, but it's still one of the better displays out there on the market, and it looks great with the nano texture. The other big addition is the webcam. You get a 1080p webcam, the same webcam that's in the iMac Pro, and by God, does it look so much better than the webcam on the MacBook Pro 16. So if you're staying at home and you're using your computer for conference calls, you're going to love this webcam compared to the previous one. The speakers are also the same as the previous iMac, but the difference this year is that they added a variable controller to the T2 chip in order to equalize the sound. So depending on the type of content you're watching, the equalization settings will kick in and offer you a better sound experience. Now, I did compare these speakers to the MacBook Pro 16, which I feel are like the best speakers on a laptop right now. The MacBook Pro 16 sounded slightly brighter, but the iMac was louder with better mids and heavier bass.
3 on the play. Third and 10 with 37 seconds left. Conroy on the bootleg. Shot. Firing at speed.
The other addition is the microphones. There's 3 of them in here, exactly like the MacBook Pro 16, but the big difference is you don't get those beam-forming mics, meaning it's not going to follow your voice when you're not directly in front of it. This is fine considering the iMac is going to be stationary on your desk and you're most likely going to be staring at it the entire time. But the quality of the microphone is exactly the same as the MacBook Pro 16. This is a microphone check using the iMac 2020. This is a microphone check using the iMac 2020. This is a microphone test using the MacBook Pro 16. This is a microphone test using the MacBook Pro 16. Right now I'm talking using the Rode Procaster microphone. I am using the Rode Procaster microphone. Now, when it comes to performance, you would think my water-cooled desktop PC would absolutely destroy the iMac. But this is where software optimization comes into play and changes everything. If you're looking at raw benchmarks, then yes, on paper, the 10900K, especially in something like Cinebench, is going to be faster. Same with the GPU. The RTX 2080 Super inside of my 10900K is a faster GPU than the 5700 XT. The 5700 XT, to put it in context for you, is very similar to an RTX 2080 Super Max Q. Now, when you start using software, specifically in the Adobe suite, that's when everything changes. If you're a Photoshop user, both of these computers performed amazingly. But the difference is the iMac beat out my desktop PC. Not by tons, but by enough. Same with After Effects. Because the 5700 XT is sporting 16 gigabytes of VRAM, compared to 12 on my 2080 Super, the performance of rendering and applying effects in After Effects is faster on the Mac. The only area in the Adobe suite that my PC won was Adobe Premiere. The problem is the 5700 XT lost out when it came to exporting files. It was slower, something to do with the optimizations, probably Adobe's fault, is just not there. The CUDA cores are preferred, they're better optimized to export footage. If you're talking about multicam playback and timeline scrubbing, it's actually faster on the iMac. Now, if you're a developer, same sort of story. Because it's running on Mac OS, you have that Unix kernel. Compiling code using the CPU is going to be faster on the Mac compared to my desktop PC. Then there's gaming. You can actually game on this iMac. This 5700 XT is a capable gaming card. The only downfall, though, is that you're still stuck with a 60 Hz display, and this would have been an absolute awesome time to add some of that ProMotion to their iMac line. Thermals, on the other hand, are always a hot topic, pun intended, with Apple devices, because we've seen, like the MacBook Air and some other machines, get really high temperatures. You have to understand something. Apple has a deal with Intel to get the best silicone from the fabs that come out of the manufacturing process. So, their CPUs can handle the higher temperatures better than like the typical 10900K that you'd buy for your desktop PC. So yeah, I am seeing temperatures that go over 90, and sometimes the clock speeds will go down to 3.6 to 3.9, but at the end of the day, the software experience, the faster software experience that I showed you in this video speaks for itself. So here's the thing. The iMac 2020 may look the same as the previous generation, but they did a good job of updating the things that can. 10-core Intel paired with the 5700 XT from AMD runs beautifully. You have a better webcam, which is great for working from home, better microphones, better speakers, and most importantly to me, the ability to buy it with an RJ45 and a nano texture matte display. Look, if you're worried about this getting outdated because of Apple silicone, I don't think that's going to happen for a while. For Apple silicone, an ARM processor, to be as powerful as what you have inside of here is going to take years. The first things to go will be the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. But I think if you were to buy this Intel iMac today, you should be fine for the next 4 to 5 years. I hope that helps this review. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Goes the fullback. Matt Pearson and Joe Donovan brings it down along with Alex Provost. Second down and 8 from the 22 as Donovan just crashed
macOS Big Sur. Holy smokes. Okay, so just like with iOS, watchOS, and iPadOS, Apple also releases a new version of macOS every year at WWDC in June. Last year we had macOS Catalina, which was filled with bugs and stability issues, some of which still haven't been fixed to this very day. So I was honestly expecting the next macOS version to just be a stability improvement with bug fixes and everything like that over Catalina. And since we haven't had any leaks at all on the next version of macOS, pretty much the entire tech community was assuming that this would be a very small update. But instead, macOS Big Sur is actually the biggest macOS update that we've ever had in years, and probably the biggest update that macOS got ever since the introduction of macOS 10 in 2001. So, without any further ado, get those snacks ready, get all that popcorn, those drinks, and everything you need, and here is my experience with macOS Big Sur.
And the Wildcats with their first turnover of the season, and it couldn't come out of much.
Oh, do you want to get those badges? You know, those really cool badges next to your name? Well, in that case, definitely consider becoming a member by clicking the join button down below. You support the channel and you get these really cool badges next to your name, which also evolve the longer you've been a member for. So, thank you and enjoy those cool badges. Okay, so by far the biggest change that we got with macOS Big Sur is the new design. Unlike iOS, which usually gets a decent set of improvements every single year, macOS is a bit more conservative. For example, all versions of macOS from macOS 10.0 to macOS 10.9 or macOS Mavericks have looked almost identical. Then, in 2014, 6 years ago, Apple released macOS 10.10, also known as macOS Yosemite. This was really the biggest design change that the Mac ever got, at least up until that point. Gone was the skeuomorphism that Steve Jobs was such a big fan of, as now we got the exact same design language that we got on the iPhones and the iPads with iOS 7 back in 2013. We got a design that featured a heavy emphasis on transparency. to the effects and simplicity overall. And I was actually a really big fan of this design. Literally had zero issues with it, but I always felt that it could be improved. And yeah, it definitely was. With macOS Mojave in 2018, we got the dark mode. One of my favorite features ever in any macOS update. And now, in 2020, with macOS Big Sur, Apple has redesigned macOS pretty much entirely all over again. And essentially we now get an even more iOS-like experience and look, with things such as Control Center, the notifications and the widgets panel that we got in iOS 14, as well as system toggles that look exactly like they do on iOS. I'm actually a massive fan of this design. I do think that it looks absolutely gorgeous. However, I do have some concerns that I do want to raise, which hopefully Apple will address by the time macOS Big Sur releases to the public. Okay, so concern number one is the contrast. So on macOS Catalina, which is the current macOS, all the top bar elements are perfectly visible. So everything looks pretty great. I've never had any issues being able to identify the UI elements. However, on macOS Big Sur, the UI elements are basically all over the place. The top bar especially makes everything barely even readable. The contrast is almost entirely gone. Not only that, but Apple has also added more space between the icons in the top bar, meaning that for people like me, who have a ton of icons there from multiple utility apps that I use, many of those icons would not be visible anymore due to the extra spacing required. Okay, my second concern is in terms of that new Control Center. So while I do like a lot how it looks and how it works, I mean, now you can even control the screen brightness from there, which is really cool and useful, and also things such as the keyboard backlight, which I think is absolutely brilliant. However, I just think that it just looks and behaves way too much like iOS does, which I wouldn't normally have a problem with if this device had a touchscreen, but it doesn't. Whether this means that Apple will release touchscreen Macs in the not-too-distant future, we do not know. What we do know is that Big Sur behaves a lot like iOS, and using Big Sur with a mouse, in a lot of UI elements, it just doesn't feel right. Now, speaking of the Control Center, there are a lot of things that I do actually like about it. For example, having the Control Center means that you no longer need individual icons in the top bar for things such as Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, because now you can keep all of those icons in the Control Center, which means that yes, you can indeed clear up a lot of space in that top bar. But probably my favorite thing about the new Control Center is that you can even drag elements outside of that Control Center and onto the top bar. So if you ever wanted to have things such as, let's say, Do Not Disturb mode or even AirDrop in that top bar, now that is indeed possible. And just like how on iOS you can have third-party apps in the Control Center, I am predicting that this will also be possible later in macOS as well. Okay, next up, widgets. I do love them a lot. They're absolutely brilliant, and they do look and work exactly like they do on iOS 14, meaning that you can just add different sizes of a widget, usually small, medium, or large, and they're also fully interactable with. So yeah, big fan of widgets. My only complaint here is that I wish you could place them on the desktop as well, rather than having them constrained in that separate widget panel. Essentially, just like you can on iOS 14, I think that being able to just drag them out of the widgets panel and onto the home screen would be ideal, especially on a Mac, since you have a much larger display to play with when compared to, let's say, an iPhone. Then notifications have also been tweaked. Rather than getting a massive list of all of your notifications, they are now grouped into a stack, which you can then expand to access all of those notifications from the app. Again, I just wish that they worked like they currently do on iOS or iPadOS. And by this I mean that on iPadOS, for example, you can just bring the mouse to the top portion of the screen and the notifications panel would drop down. Apple is aiming for consistency between macOS, iOS, and iPadOS, so I think it would be great to have notifications work in the same way as they do on Apple's other platforms. And speaking of great, Daniel from the future here, by the way, how great is it that you can now get 70% off with NordVPN by using the link below? In case you don't know what a VPN is, well, with NordVPN, for example, you can watch Netflix US content even if you're not physically located in the US. Not only that, but you can basically access any region-restricted content that you want thanks to NordVPN. And aside from that, NordVPN makes it safe and secure for you to browse the web, no matter where you are and no matter what type of connection you have. So even if you're on a public Wi-Fi network, NordVPN will encrypt your entire connection by channeling you through an encrypted tunnel, meaning that no one will be able to scoop into your network traffic and get access to your personal details and transactions. NordVPN works on iOS, Android, macOS, Windows, Linux, yeah, pretty much anything really. And it even works as an extension in Chrome or Firefox. Get a 3-year plan with 70% off plus an additional month for free at nordvpn.com/zltnord or simply use the coupon code.
Had the angle, and Jamie gets the first down to the 40. Just a quick toss back and strict power for Jamie Chase. And the Red Raiders keep their drive alive. That was started by a fine Jamie Chase run, as he nearly broke it. Conroy cuts back inside. Josh gets about a yard as Alex Provost stepped up and made the tackle. And it'll be 2nd and 9. As Provost and the Wildcats looking to slow down Barnstable. He's just done it with certain segments where they're getting the 2nd and 5-yard situations. As Conroy stuffed Keith Williams, the right defensive end, along with Darren Gladstone and left defensive end Joe Donovan. And on the stop, it'll be 3rd and 9. And these situations have basically have been Barnstable going to McCartan. It's John McCartan, a senior split end. He's been the man for the Red Raiders when they have needed him to keep the drive alive. And you see him break out towards you, bottom of your screen, right. Conroy. McCartan, who else? Gabriel and Shaw bring him down, and McCartan gets the first down to the 24. So the Red Raiders come up with a big 3rd down play, and John McCartan has been the key. Toss back Chase. Donovan brings him down with Provost. As Alex and Joe bring him down after about a yard gain, 2nd and 9. 3:50 to go, 3rd period, 7-3 Wildcats. As Weymouth being pushed back on their heels. Conroy on the out, overshoots McCartan, J.J. Chell on the coverage, as it was a timing play, and McCartan was out there, and Conroy threw it to the spot where he should be throwing it, outside of McCartan's left shoulder. And he had too much on it, however. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 for the Red Raiders. As Pearson fumbles and Weymouth recovers. A break for the Wildcats as Pearson never had control. Kevin Shaw comes out of the pack. And Weymouth hangs on. As the break for the Wildcats is when Pearson trying to make that extra spin move, it cost him the football. Kevin Shaw falling on it. The Wildcats will start from their own 21. And they'll go to Lou Henriksen, crossing the 25 to the 27. It's Lou just banging straight ahead. 2nd down and about 4 for the Wildcats.
Initially by Tracy. Arena 8, 2nd and 2.
Cella, the Wildcats just stay straight as far as what they're going to do. Come right at Barnstable. And confusion. Cella goes down for a loss. A broken play. Cella back to the 20, where he is stormed under by a host of Red Raiders. As JJ looked for giving it off to either Gabriel or he looked at Strazario or Henriksen, one of the three running backs, and all three were going in different directions away from JJ. 3rd and 7. And they'll be at the 23, Willow Wildcats. Cella, screen for Provost, looking for the wall of form. Alex gets it out to about the 30, and depending on where they mark it, very close. As Alex, he'll say, gets it to the 29, just about a yard short. 4th down. And Mark Stanton will be called on the punt again. And 1:16 to go, 3rd quarter. Stanton just gets it away and rides out a nice kick. And gets a nice roll, a sweet roll. Dead at the Barnstable 21-yard line. 50-yard kick for Mark Stanton. And a big play in a lot of ways for the Wildcats because it takes the pressure off the Wildcat defense as far as field position does go. Fumble again! And Weymouth recovers as Pearson never got the handoff. And coming out of the pile is Joe Donovan, his second fumble recovery of the 3rd quarter. The sophomore defensive end has had quite a night for himself. Barnstable took a timeout, and the Wildcats at the 19 for the 1st down. 3 turnovers here for the Red Raiders in this 3rd period. A frustrating one for them. And Cella with markers all over the place. And we'll see if the penalty's on the Red Raiders. Offsides Barnstable, 1st and 5 for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats will take the penalty. They will not take the Cello run, which is about 2 yards. Offsides, 1st down. And the Wildcat huddle moves up a little bit. From the 14, on the 1st and 5. Gabriel runs into Danny Desmond's back, and Steve followed Danny to about the 11-yard line, where it'd be 2nd and 2. 17 seconds to go in the quarter. One more play to be run. Henriksen, burrowing. Lou finally goes down as he gets into the arms of Will Glennon on the plays. Final play of the third period, and what has been a wild and wacky third quarter comes to an end with the Wildcats owning a 7-3 lead as we head to the final 10 minutes of this ball game. Cats with the football leading 7-3 as we get ready for this fourth quarter, and they'll have first and goal from the 7-yard line. Straight ahead basic football for this team tonight, and they just cost themselves 5 yards as the right side of the line just beat the count, and after getting 5 free yards they just give back 5 free yards. They've hurt themselves. Opportunities have been there to expand the lead, and some foolish penalties have hurt them. Gabriel slices through inside the 5 to about the 3. He almost broke it. Will Glennon just caught him. Steve Gabriel almost expanded the lead. They'll say he made it to the 3. Second and goal. It in and give themselves some room. Gabriel again. Steve, touchdown! His 6th touchdown. It was in the last 2 weeks. And the thing about that play was, if you noticed, in the Wildcat set was the left side of the line nearly moved, and it almost became a big mistake for the Wildcats that they almost got called for illegal procedure again, but they got the play up. Gabriel scores, and it's 13-3 with 9:20 to go. And they'll go for the 2. Option, Straseri looking to turn the corner, forget it. It won't happen. The Wildcat faithful have watched their team expand the lead to 13-3 with 9:21 left. A clock bank rolling in. And it is now a 13-3 ball game in favor of the Wildcats, and Danny Daly to kick off on the 19-yard drive that took the Wildcats 4 plays. And I'll tell you, this flag bank is rolling in a hurry. What a change. It's been a gorgeous night, all of a sudden, whoa. And Danny picks it high. And it skids. To about the 31-yard line is Shea Markman. As Markman took it on the skidding hop and made a nice return. And it'll be first down with 9:15 left. Fogbank rolling in. And I don't know, detectable. It is not down in the field. But we are up above, and Conroy is crushed as the option read perfectly. Joe Donovan was there from his left defensive end position to play the quarterback, and left cornerback Kevin Shaw played the pitch man, and the two were there to make the play with Donovan making the tackle. 2nd and 13. And now you can see a little bit of the fog on your screen. Conroy will take a timeout with 8:41 to go. And as the fog rolls in, the Wildcats owning a 13-3 lead. Second and 13, and the fog just rolling in. from a beautiful summer-type day, and Conroy just dumps it off, and it's knocked down. It will be a pass play as he tried to dump it off to Saquette. The Wildcats strung the play out very nicely and forced a bad pass by Josh Conroy, and it'll be 3rd and 13. Mark about the weather in the sense that, you know, it has been gorgeous. Gorgeous. It was a light, cool breeze. Temperature was in the 60s after a nearly 80-degree day. And one back in the backfield. On 3rd down, Conroy rolling left. Josh will keep and get knocked down on the play by Lou Hendrickson, and Danny Daly was also there, but Hendrickson put the clamps on Conroy back at the 36, 4th and 7. But a very moist type air. And the Wildcats, it's going to be tough for these kick returners as the fog bank rolls in. You can see it right now on your screen. It's almost in a sense that the returning shouldn't come about for the Wildcats. I don't know how Darren Gladstone caught that football. Darren amazingly caught the football, and he's brought down at the 31. I give him credit for just putting his hands on the football in that hunt. As Caprio cut off a nice kick, but the fog bank just rolled in. That was weird. 7:44 left. The Wildcats trying to do some work on the clock. And they'll be going into the fog. Gabriel, Steve, to the 47-yard line. And getting up from the pile will be Ryan O'Neal, the linebacker, to make the stop. 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats. Weird is an understatement as another bank of fog rolls in. You can see it just passing through. Hendrickson stood up and dropped as Lou gets back to the line of scrimmage. As Mark McGraham and Tom Bourgeois in on the stop, 3rd down. And the Wildcats still need 4 for the 1st down. 6:45 to go. Wildcats love to get a 1st down. They can kill a few more minutes off the clock. And banging through the pack for about 2, maybe 3, and being short of the 1st down is Darren Gladstone. Or check it, Steve Gabriel. Gabriel brought down by Glennon. 4th down. 6:14 and counting. And Mark Stanton hustles out to the field. Stanton quickly gets it out. And it's picked up by Merkman, who slices back, fumbles, Weymouth gets it. The tackle is the key, as Merkman tried to make the move, and falling on the football is Alex Provost. And a big, big play. 4 turnovers in this half, the Wildcats, of course, but a great tackle on the play as Merkman went to make the move. And the stripping of the football, and Weymouth will have it, and a timeout they will take with 5:46 left, and they have the football at the Red Raider 33, and it will be an official's timeout. Look across field, and that's what it looks like. We are getting a great fog. and the Wildcats, as it's also a miss. As they will look to kill a little more of the clock. Gabriel to the 29. And a gain of 4. Second down and 6. And Lou Henriksen, you see top of your screen limping off as Lou apparently twisted an ankle. And he's replaced by Danny Sullivan. Oh, Gabriel breaks through. Steve to the 10. And he almost broke it. He just did some beautiful, fancy footwork, and he brings it down where Ryan O'Neal was the last person with a shot to get him. And Ryan does yank him down. And we head under 5 minutes. And the Wildcats looking to put the finishing touches on this one. Gabriel gains about a foot as he's tripped up from behind. 4:41 left in the game. 13-3, the team on your screen with the lead. As we are now getting a heavy dose of the fog. And it is nothing wrong. If you picture, it is a weird happening. Cella, on a very nice play, is stuck for the loss by 33. Anthony James, as he came from the nose tackle position for the sack, back to the 16-3. The Wildcats need to get it to the 1 for the first. 3:55 left. And movement, left side of the Wildcat line. Again, they hurt themselves with some foolish penalties. Procedure on Weymouth. And with 3:41 left, and they'll start the clock again. 3:40 and counting. The Wildcats will take their time. They'll run, more than likely, on this play, because they just want to kill time. And even if the drive stalls out, the fact of the matter is, Barnstable's got a long ways to go. Darren Gladstone high steps his way to the 19. As Ryan O'Neal with a tackle. And Darren had a good game in the secondary tonight with playing the run. 4th down and 18 for the first, 19 for the touchdown. .250 and counting. 13-3 Wildcats. Shaziri on the counter. Get it outside. Keith gets a block from Alvin Harrington. Can't shake Ryan O'Neal. But the Barnstable Red Raiders linebacker prevents Shaziri not only from getting the first down, but the touchdown as well. And Barnstable will have to go 95 yards, 2:33 left, down by 10. So the Wildcats would love to have the score, but still take nearly, with the fumble recovery mixed in with the combined possessions, 5 minutes off the clock. As Chase to the 6. And the Wildcats put Taro in there, replacing Lou Henriksen, but the front of the line making the play. 2nd down and the quick huddle for the Red Raiders. Conroy on the flip. McCartan runs out of bounds wisely. J.J. Chella made sure he ran out of bounds, and he's out to the 14-yard line. As Conroy gets to play on 3rd and about 2, and looking across at the yard markers, I'll tell you how tough it is to see. You're getting a visible picture enough of the play in the field, but across field, forget it. Conroy with a marker down, runs head-on into Darren Gladstone. As Darren came up and made the stop, and a marker down. Offsides Weymouth. Another foolish penalty for the Wildcats with 2 minutes left. Barnstable gets the first down. On the play. As the options being discussed. Left and a first down for the Red Raiders, and they're at the 20. And the clock now ticking away. Conroy on the bootleg. Come on. Josh with Williams chasing him. Williams runs him down, and he did get out of bounds. Keith Williams with the play, but Keith just could not keep him in bounds. As Keith with a fine play, just couldn't make it a super play. 1:45 left. And a heavy fog. You can see, I haven't seen a fog like this since Thanksgiving Day, about 3 years ago in a game. Conroy, pitch back, Chase, turns it upfield and almost breaks it. Jamie Chase to the 35 and a first down. But the fact of the matter, when the ball's set, clock will start again. And Barnstable needs 2 scores in this game as Conroy flips it out. McCartan runs out of bounds at the 45, and a 15-yard penalty on the Wildcats for unnecessary roughness, as McCartan had just gone out of bounds. So the Wildcats give Barnstable something that they desperately need, yardage. And with 1:33 left, that's something that you don't want to do if you're the Wildcats of Weymouth. Give this type of yardage. Pitch back, it's Chase. Trying to turn the corner. Kept in bounds by Darren Gladstone and Kevin Shaw as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. And now timeout. Barnstable with 1:22 left. 13-3. Wildcat lead. You have not entered the twilight zone. The fog has rolled in to Hyannis. Conroy flipping it deep, and McCartan almost got it, or no, he didn't. You have to wait to find out the result of plays. 3rd and 10. 1:17 left. As the ball was deflected, about the best views on the field belong to the guys that are there. The 11 on offense, 11 on defense. Conroy. McCartan almost getting away from Gladstone. First down at the 26. And the ball gets set. The hurry-up offense for the Red Raiders. Time will get going.
26-yard line.
Conroy from McCartan. And did he catch it? He caught it inbounds at the 21. 53 seconds left. Quick huddle. Well, fumbled snap. And a legal procedure will be called on the Red Raiders. 46 seconds left. Procedure on the Raiders. I'll tell you how frustrating it is getting to see, not only from what you can see at home, folks, but for the people up here, Director Dale Catcham, who wears glasses as I do. Believe me, it's getting very difficult. They're getting far quickly, and the clock running with 39 seconds left. Conroy rolling, flipping it deep to the 6. With McCartan with the catch, and a flag on the play. And the Red Raiders, illegal procedure, takes away the fine pass play to McCartan. And we'll bring it back. John McCartan has played an outstanding game at the split end position. The motion penalty, 30 seconds left. And the Red Raiders. Conroy. McCartan! Touchdown! Hold on! 19 seconds left. As Conroy to McCartan for the touchdown. And we're still getting a ball game, 13-9. And Red Raiders will go for 2. As Conroy just flipping it up in the air, knocked away and incomplete. 19 seconds left. 13-9 football game, and the Wildcats trying to hang on. The Red Raiders go 95 yards, and now the play that we all know is coming, the onside kick. Everybody up front for Weymouth, the hands team, as it's called. Yes, we'll take a look at them, hand to them. And Jesse Caprio will be kicking it. And this is the formation for the onside kick. A weird formation, and Chuck Montorio caught it on the hop, played it perfectly, and the Wildcats will just try to kill the final 17. Chuck Montorio comes up with a big play. And basically it'll be J.J. Chella putting the knee down, and you gotta put it realistically, the Wildcats survive. As far as this one, Barnstable threw everything they had at them. Coach Joe Kelly said in the pregame, he said simply that this is a dark horse team. Red Raiders will take timeout with 12 seconds left. And we'll talk more about the final situation. The Wildcats, 12 seconds is all that their allies are, as Barnstable spends their last timeout. Wildcats looking to kill this final 12 seconds. And the pregame, Joe Kelly made the comment simply that this Barnstable team was the dark horse of the league. And they are one fine football team, and the Wildcats survive. The Wildcats survive because of their persistence of just coming at Barnstable, and the Wildcats go to 2-1 in a very hard-fought, very physically tough football game. And Barnstable and Weymouth in a very, very rugged football game. And 2 touchdowns by Steve Gabriel. 1 in the second period and 1 in the third period. After a Joe Donovan fumble recovery, do it for the Wildcats. That's what they did to pull this one out. As the Wildcats defeat the Red Raiders in a very, very tough football game, 13-9. Football-wise, Weymouth and Taunton around the corner for you next week. Soccer-wise, we'll be looking to bring you Weymouth and North Quincy boys soccer action. As that will do it. For Director Dale Ketchum, I'm Mark Ducharme. I'm glad you joined us. This was a very, very tough football game that the Wildcats just were able to eke out by the final score of 13-9. Good night from Barnstable High, a very foggy Barnstable High.